Hey peeps, if you have not heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. First and foremost, it's free. Doesn't cost you anything. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer, your laptop, or your pad. Anchor will then distribute these podcasts, no fee, everywhere. Spotify, Google, Apple Podcast, anywhere. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free app today, Anchor, Anchor, or go to Anchor, Anchor.fm to get started. You will have fun. Good day. Welcome to Rocking the Gray Matter with Doc Grigsby. That's me. This is where we will view the world through the lens of life and interaction, hopefully applying some common sense, empathy, and intelligent reasoning. The world is a crazy place. Let's explore it together. Good day to you. It is July 21st, 2020, and you are listening to Rocking the Gray Matter with Doc Grigsby, and that would be me. Welcome to the neighborhood. Hope all is well. Hope all is safe. You are wearing your mask. So I ran across this article in NBC News, and it just blew me away. So let me just read some of it to you. A 15-year-old black girl who has been incarcerated in Michigan since mid-May for, wait for it, after she failed to do her online schoolwork, will not be returning home. So says a judge. Oakland County Judge Mary Ellen Brennan determined that the girl has been benefiting from a residential treatment program at a juvenile detention center, but is not yet ready to be with her mother. Another hearing is scheduled for September. Oh my God. So, here's the deal. Grace was a sophomore at Groves High School in the Birmingham Public School District, which is 79% white. Over the past few days, parents and students in suburban Detroit have protested in support of Grace's release from the Children's Village in Oakland County, which is a detention center. At Monday's hearing, the judge stressed that the police had responded to incidents between the mother and the daughter 3 times, and that Grace's detainment was a result of that. She was not detained because she didn't turn her homework in. She was detained because she was a threat to her mother. So, I guess here's the question that everybody's asking. Black youth in Michigan are more than 4 times as likely to be detained or committed than white youth. This is according to a 2015 data project. If Miss Grace was indeed a white person, would we question as to whether the judge would have done this? Putting a young person in a confined area in the midst of COVID. So, a little history about Grace, the 15-year-old girl. She has ADHD, and she's in special ed. That's fantastic. She and her mom have had numerous bouts of conflict. In 2018, Grace was placed into a court diversion program for incorrigibility, but was released from it early. So, November 2019, assault charges were filed against the girl after police were called to the home of Grace and her mother. Allegedly, Grace was upset because she could not go see her friend, so she took it out on Mom. After that, Grace was also charged with larceny after she was caught on surveillance video stealing another student's cell phone from a school locker. So in April, juvenile court hearing, a judge stated that Grace should receive mental health and anger management. I don't really have an issue with that because students of that age and even a little older do not know how to manage their emotions. That's called emotional intelligence. They lack. Anyway, a court-appointed attorney asked for probation because Grace had not been in any further trouble, and it was denied. So Grace says that my mom and I are working each day to better ourselves in our relationship, and I think that the removal from my home would be an intrusion on our progress. Very well stated for a 15-year-old. So the judge, Brennan, sentenced Grace to intensive probation with several requirements, including staying home, checking in with the caseworker, no phone use, and completing her schoolwork. But while she was at home, this is previous to her latest incarceration, the girl was unable to focus properly while learning from home. She told the caseworker in April that she felt anxious about the probation and overwhelmed. Again, not uncommon emotions for a teenager. You elders out there are going to laugh and call it bullshit, and she just needs to grow up. Well, she can't grow up because she's still a child, and she hasn't learned to manage all of these massive amount of emotions rushing around in her head. So, Grace's teacher had told the caseworker that Grace was not out of alignment with most of my other students, and how she was coping was no one's fault because we did not see this pandemic coming. So now let's think about that. Mid-March, we all got shut down. K through 12 and higher education, we got put on virtual lockdown. Teenagers didn't deal really well with this because they're anxious anyway. All kinds of reasons, but they're anxious about everything. And now you're going to limit their social ability. You're going to put them in a learning environment that they are not accustomed, and you're going to coop them up with a family. Teenagers and family, just naturally speaking, typically do not get along really well because it's that trying time. The teenager is trying to find themselves. They're trying to identify, self-identify, separate from parents. This is a normal process. So this young lady has ADHD. She has social anxiety. She was on immediate lockdown because of COVID, and now she's got issues with her mom, and she doesn't know how to manage her emotions. All very normal things, parents. So, the judge sentenced her to juvie, as we call it, juvenile detention, which I don't know if you guys have even been in juvie. It's a joke on a good day. Because she was deemed a threat to a community, as the original charge was assault and theft. So a threat to the community. Think about this. She stole a cell phone from a classmate. Threat to community. She assaulted her mother. Nope, that wasn't a bright choice, but nonetheless, it happens all the time. A threat to community. So, the people that are behind this young lady, Miss Grace, say that the court's decision to incarcerate her simply underscores the racial disparities and even the juvenile system. But of course it does. Of course it does. From January 2016 through June 2020, about 4,800 juvenile cases were referred to Oakland County. About 42% involved black youth, although the population in Oakland County is only 15%, that's 15% black. So, lots of students out there like Miss Grace. They're put into a criminal justice system as children, yes, instead of trying to address the issue. Issues, you say, like what? Well, like ADHD, does she have the proper medication? Is she seeing counseling for such? What is her school doing about this? Does she have counselors there? Does she have mentors there? Home life, there needs to be some counseling and education for mom to know that teenage years are rough and it's a very normal process. Grace needs to go through counseling to understand how to address and how to manage and how to properly express her emotions. All of these issues are at the root of the decision to lock this young girl up. No, it wasn't just because she didn't complete her homework, but to lock this young girl up and throw her into juvie. Now she's in a juvenile detention facility, perhaps not actually juvie, but some outpatient thing, and still not allowed to come home because she is a threat to, wait for it, community? Because she stole a cell? Okay. Alright. So, this is never ending, peeps. This is never freaking ending. Now, this is a bit outrageous. It's outrageous for all kinds of reasons, and people drop the ball early in this young woman's life. Yes, she is to take the blame on a lot of it, absolutely. But in the middle of a pandemic, to throw a 15-year-old into juvie is not the answer. We need money in our communities for resources to address these issues with our youth, to address the education between parents and youth, and oh my God, to address the lack of adequacy in K through 12 education and mental health. Mental health being behavioral issues, learning disorders, emotional intelligence, all of that. Now, this young lady could easily grow up on the wrong path, so to speak. Without the proper resources and education and counseling, she could easily move down this path of mismanaged emotions, drugs, early pregnancy, crime, big crime. This is a problem. This is where we go wrong as a society. This is where we go wrong as a community. We're caught between two camps. We send our kids to school to learn and to grow intellectually, but oh my God, don't you tell my child what to do, and don't you lay your hands on my child, and I will discipline and take care of everything else, you just teach them. That's that one camp. The other camp is literally they drop their kids off at the front door and that's the babysitter for the next 8 hours. They don't really care what goes on. So you have two camps. Inside the school you have two camps. You have, oh my God, I am so busy, I have enough to do, you don't pay me enough, I've got 40 kids in the classroom, now you want me to babysit? Now you want me to address emotional issues? That's not in my job description. Here's the other side of that. And of course our community, in order for resources to be provided in our community, things have to happen like, wait for it, taxes have to go up. Property tax, sales tax, something has to go up. the community has to pay for it. And oh, gosh forbid that we have to pay for anything, but we're the first to bitch about not having it. So we can no longer take our kids and drop the ball in the home and continue to drop the ball in school for 8 hours a day, and we sure as hell can't drop the ball and throw them in juvie as a community. This is a lose-lose-lose situation, and this is a huge problem that festers and grows year after year and is disproportionately represented say that disproportionately represented by young people of color. Just my thoughts, peeps, you know me. Just a quick, oh my gosh, I had to read this and share. Always open to your comments. I appreciate you showing up. I wish you nothing but peace, happiness, and health. Until next time.